There is a place on Earth that humans were never meant to see. A world where sunlight disappears, where pressure can crush steel, and where life has evolved into forms that feel almost impossible. And if you keep going down, there is no coming back. Beneath the surface of our oceans lies a vast hidden world, one that exists just below our everyday reality, yet remains more mysterious than distant planets. A realm where light fades, temperature drops, and life begins to transform in ways that challenge everything we think we know about biology. At the surface, the ocean feels familiar, bright, full of motion, filled with fish, coral reefs, and the constant energy of sunlight fueling plankton, which in turn supports entire ecosystems, from small fish all the way to massive whales. But that world is only the beginning. As we descend deeper, past roughly 200 meters, sunlight begins to weaken, slowly fading into a dim blue glow, and we enter what is known as the twilight zone, a vast region of the ocean where light still exists, but no longer enough to sustain plant life. Photosynthesis stops here. There are no plants, no forests, no green energy, only what falls from above. Tiny particles drifting downward through the water, fragments of dead organisms, waste, and microscopic debris forming what scientists call marine snow. To us, it seems insignificant, but down here, it is the foundation of life. Because in a world without sunlight, energy must come from somewhere, and this is it. The deeper we go, the stranger things become. Creatures in the twilight zone have evolved in ways that feel almost unreal, many becoming nearly transparent, their bodies like glass, their organs faintly visible, drifting slowly through the water like living ghosts. The glass squid, the glass octopus, animals that seem less like solid beings and more like reflections. Why transparency evolved here is still not fully understood. It may be camouflage, a way to disappear in the faint light, or it may be something else entirely, a way to reduce energy cost in a place where survival is already expensive. But not all creatures choose to disappear. Some do the opposite. They create light, bioluminescence, a chemical reaction that produces glow in complete darkness, turning bodies into living signals, flashes, pulses, patterns that serve as tools for hunting, communication, and defense. But perhaps the most fascinating use of light is invisibility. Some animals generate light along their bodies to match the faint glow from the surface above, effectively erasing their silhouette when viewed from below. This is called counter-illumination. They don't hide in darkness, they blend into light itself. Others take a different approach. The bloody belly comb jelly, for example, glows deep red, a color that cannot travel far underwater, making it effectively invisible, even as it consumes glowing prey within its body. In this world, being seen is a disadvantage, and evolution has responded accordingly. But the Twilight Zone holds something even more extraordinary. Every single night, billions of creatures begin to move. Fish, squid, jellies, an entire hidden ecosystem rising toward the surface under cover of darkness, feeding in the safety of night, and then returning to the depths before sunrise. This movement is called vertical migration, and it is the largest daily migration on Earth, larger than all herds, all flocks, all swarms combined. And yet, for most of human history, we had no idea it existed. It was only discovered when sonar systems detected what appeared to be a false ocean floor, rising and falling every day. But it wasn't the seabed, it was life, a living layer of the ocean moving together. Now we go deeper, beyond 1 kilometer, into complete darkness, the midnight zone. Here, sunlight is gone completely. There is no day, no night, only endless black. temperatures hover just above freezing. Pressure increases to hundreds of times what we experience at the surface. And yet, life does not disappear. It becomes even more extreme. Predators here have evolved abilities that feel almost impossible, like the dragonfish, which can produce red light, invisible to most creatures in the deep ocean, allowing it to illuminate prey without being seen. A private searchlight, a hidden advantage. Other species have evolved ultra-black skin, absorbing nearly all light that touches them, reflecting almost nothing, making them nearly invisible even under direct illumination. And then there are the anglerfish, perhaps the most iconic creatures of the deep. The female carries a glowing lure, dangling it in front of her mouth, attracting prey in the darkness. But the real mystery lies in reproduction. The male, tiny and fragile, exists only to find a female. And when he does, he attaches, fuses, becomes part of her body. His organs dissolve. His identity disappears, until he is nothing more than a permanent extension of her. It is one of the most extreme adaptations in nature, yet it works. Not every creature here hunts. Some wait. Scavengers rely on what falls from above, and sometimes something massive arrives. A whale, dead, sinking slowly into the depths. When it reaches the ocean floor, it becomes a sudden explosion of life, attracting creatures from all directions, feeding entire ecosystems for years, even decades. A single event sustaining an entire community. But we are not at the bottom yet, because beyond the open water lies the abyss, a vast, endless plain of mud stretching across the ocean floor, one of the largest habitats on Earth, yet one of the least explored. There are no landmarks, no structures, only silence and scarcity. Life here moves slowly, grows slowly, lives longer. Some species become enormous, a phenomenon known as deep-sea giantism, where animals grow far larger than their relatives near the surface, though the reason remains unclear. Even time feels different here. Some creatures live for centuries. Others exist in cycles so slow they are difficult to observe. And still, we go deeper. Because beyond the abyss, there are trenches, massive fractures in the Earth's crust, places where the ocean floor drops into depths beyond imagination. The Hadal Zone, the deepest environment on Earth, nearly 11,000 meters below the surface. Pressure here is extreme, enough to crush a human instantly. And yet, life exists. Creatures like snailfish, soft, fragile, almost transparent, surviving where no other vertebrates can. Their bodies adapted at the molecular level to function under crushing pressure. Others, like amphipods, thrive in large numbers, feeding, moving, surviving in a place once believed to be completely lifeless. And even here, human impact has reached. Microplastics have been found inside these creatures, proof that no place on Earth is truly untouched. In certain regions, life does not depend on sunlight at all. Near hydrothermal vents, organisms survive using chemical energy, feeding on substances released from the Earth's crust, forming entire ecosystems independent of the sun. A completely different model of life, one that may exist beyond Earth. Because if life can survive here, it can survive almost anywhere. And that is why the deep ocean matters, not just as a place on our planet, but as a window into what life can become. And yet, we have barely explored it. More than 80% of the ocean remains unknown. Every expedition reveals something new species, new behaviors, new mysteries, creatures that seem to break the rules of biology. And the deeper we go, the more we realize something unsettling. This is not an empty world.
It is a hidden one, a system that has always been here, operating in silence, evolving in darkness, and waiting to be discovered, or perhaps never meant to be seen.